The A's Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis gear up for their November 14th showdown. Leaked sparring footage between the two has surfaced online through a major boxing YouTube channel, and it's already ignited massive controversy across the boxing world.
Didn't even notice it at first, honestly. I want to see the replay. Like, I don't even know if I moved at all. But it was pretty fast. I didn't see it coming, so we'll...
What most fans didn't know is that Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis actually shared a closed-door sparring session during Davis's 14-month layoff before his bout with Frank Martin. That session reportedly happened after Davis publicly dismissed Jake's boxing skills and boasted that his own punching power was equivalent to that of a super middleweight.
Oh, there you go. Good punch. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. Take deep breaths when you want. Take deep breaths. Right.
Jake tried to catch Gervonta Davis off guard, looking to drop the lightweight champion with an early strike. But Tank's tight high guard blocked nearly everything Jake threw. Then the momentum shifted. Tank switched to counterpunching and began picking his shots with precision. If that sparring had been officially scored, it was clear Tank would have won on points. Fans who saw the leaked footage for the first time were stunned by how sharp and composed Davis looked against the much bigger Jake Paul.
What makes you think that you can be the fighter to stop him? And if you can stop him, do you think you can stop him?
Yeah, for sure. I think I can stop him. I'm much quicker than him. He's much stronger, much bigger, but we all know that tall fighters is a taller fighter. A shorter person is hard to fight a taller person. So, a taller person is hard to fight.
To make sure the real fight doesn't play out like their sparring session, Gervonta Davis has brought in heavyweight sparring partners to help him prepare for the 6'2" cruiserweight Jake Paul. Still, Jake doesn't appear fazed. Davis recently posted a photo on his Instagram story showing himself training with a much larger sparring partner, and the image quickly went viral across social media, eventually landing on Jake Paul's feed. But instead of looking worried, Jake responded with a repost of the same image on his story, adding a confident caption that made it clear he's not intimidated at all. Gervonta sparring a guy with cankles. Buddy, bring in a real athlete, Jake Paul mocked on his Instagram story. His words quickly stirred reactions online, especially after boxing champion Terrence Crawford weighed in on the matchup. Crawford admitted that even he was shocked when the fight was announced, mainly because of the huge size difference between the two. Speaking on the Full Send podcast, Crawford said, "Jake is too big for Tank. In reality, he's way too big for him."
Paul versus Gervonta Davis.
Oh, I don't care. I don't think anyone cares, man. No one cares. No one.
Crawford has previously admitted that he isn't a big fan of Davis, yet he has always respected his talent. Despite that, the 37-year-old emphasized that the weight and size difference would be too much for Davis to handle. Tank is very talented, he can punch hard, he's explosive, but Jake is just too big, Crawford said. Davis's last fight didn't go as planned either. On March 1st at Brooklyn's Barclays Center, he had to settle for a majority decision draw against Lamont Roach. Many expected an immediate rematch, but instead, Davis shocked fans by finalizing a deal to fight Jake Paul.
We know he's gonna be definitely frustrated. You know, he's slower. You know, his arm reach not that much longer. We just gotta wait and see until we get in there and test the waters. But I'm for sure though that he decent and he gonna hold up for a couple rounds. But once it get hot in there, you know how things play out.
7 A's for Jake Paul, the former YouTuber turned cruiserweight contender. He continues to face heavy criticism for the opponents he chooses to fight. Despite that, Terrence Crawford doesn't completely dismiss the matchup, though he questions why it's even happening. He admitted he'll still be watching, curious to see if it's a real fight or just another overhyped exhibition. But if both men truly go all out, Crawford believes the outcome will be devastating for Davis. "I think Jake," Crawford said when asked who would win. "He's just too big." If Jake lands one good punch on Tank, it's over. Jake can punch with that right hand. The dude is big, not as slow as people think, and he can hit hard.
Jake Paul versus Tank Davis. They just announced the fight. What's your instant reaction to that?
I don't know what's going to happen with a 135-pounder going up against a 200-pounder. I think it's not a real fight. Jake just too big. Tank ain't gonna be able to get in from that jab. Jake land one good punch on Tank, it's over.
When asked about the upcoming Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight, Shakur Stevenson didn't hesitate to share his honest opinion. Gervonta's a great boxer, he said, but he ain't going to beat Jake. Stevenson clarified that it's not about skill or experience, it's about size. He's just too small, Shakur explained. The 28-year-old WBC lightweight champion joined TMZ Sports shortly after the fight was announced, and he pointed out the massive weight difference between the two fighters. Davis last fought at 133 pounds, while Jake Paul weighed in at 199 in his most recent bout, a gap of roughly 60 pounds. Despite Davis being one of the most dangerous knockout artists in boxing, Shakur believes the size difference makes this fight unrealistic. When asked directly if Jake Paul has a real shot at beating Gervonta, Stevenson didn't even pause before answering, "Nope."
Man, what do you think about it?
Bruh.
Yeah. Lay it on me, Rolly. What do you think, bro? Come on.
I don't even know what to think right now. I don't even know what to think. Maybe some, Tank has an unreal boxing ability and Jake Paul is really big. But the last time I said somebody was going to be bigger, they weren't that much bigger. But I think in this case, somebody's actually a lot bigger, so.
Did you see the face-off? Like, he's a lot bigger. Even though I know it's like 190.
Shakur Stevenson admitted that size will definitely play a role in the fight, but emphasized that Gervonta Davis has the skill to overcome it. "If I'm thinking like Tank, I'm going to go out there and outbox him using my knowledge and IQ," Stevenson explained. He believes Davis could easily make Jake Paul look outclassed in the ring. While Tank is known for his devastating knockout power, with 28 knockouts and 31 fights, Stevenson doesn't expect this bout to end that way. "I think Tank wins by decision," he said, explaining that Paul's size would make him hard to stop completely. "That guy's too big. I don't think Tank's just going to knock him out. I see him outboxing him." When interviewer Babcock pressed him again, Stevenson stood firm, reiterating his belief that Davis's boxing skills would shine through in a technical victory rather than a knockout.
I gotta ask you, Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis. Does Davis have a chance?
Gervonta is a great boxer, but he ain't gonna be Jake Paul.
So you got Jake Paul by knockout, or?
No, I don't got anybody, but I don't think
he's just too small.
It's just
Shakur. Stevenson dismissed the idea of Gervonta Davis knocking out Jake Paul and made it clear he doesn't see the fight as competitive. "Nah, I don't see Tank knocking Jake out," he said before explaining his stance further. While Stevenson believes Davis will dominate, he still gave Jake credit. "I think Jake is good for where he's at, but there are levels to this," he noted, highlighting the massive skill gap between them. When asked if he'd tune in to watch the bout, Stevenson didn't hesitate. "Hell no," he told TMZ Sports. He went on to explain that his lack of interest came from his mindset as both a businessman and a competitor. "Here's the thing," he said. "I have two sides of me. I have a business side and I have a competitor side. And from the competitive aspect, it doesn't excite me enough to make me want to watch it."
He's ready. Buddy's always going to come in there 100% and he's going to be on top of his game. He's going to be sharp, fast, strong. I think that's the thing that's going to surprise a lot of people with this fight is Bud power carries up. It's not just power that was just there for 147 or 140. His power carries up in weight. So I think that's the biggest thing that's going to surprise everybody.
Shakur, have you noticed that he's a step slower and any downside to adding on a little bit of size with Bud?
I mean, I can't get into his.
Shakur Stevenson admitted that while size will play a part in the Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight, he wasn't at all surprised by the matchup. "No, I'm not shocked," he said. In his last fight when he fought Lamont, Jake Paul was at the fight. He told y'all he was going to fight somebody like Jake Paul, so I'm not shocked. It doesn't surprise me. Despite understanding how the fight came together, Stevenson made it clear he wasn't happy about it. The rumors of Davis negotiating an exhibition with the YouTuber had already frustrated him long before the bout was confirmed. For Stevenson, the decision goes beyond entertainment. It's personal and symbolic of what he views as a step backward for boxing. Speaking to Fight Hub TV, he expressed his disappointment bluntly. Tank is disrespecting the sport if he chooses an exhibition with Paul instead of fighting me.